Aqua Alex here. I want to welcome you to our second Fish Keepers United question and answer. And today I am interviewing Mike from Mass Aquariums here on the Aquatic Wetline YouTube channel. Yes, two fish keepers from Massachusetts on this version of the Q&A. Now, Mike is a Boston Red Sox fan, and I'm a New York Yankee fan, so let's see how this works out. Also, we're both chefs, so that's great. We love to cook and we love to keep fish, so that should work out wonderful as well. So let's start this episode of Fish Keepers United Q&A. So Mike, my first question to you is, how long have you been in the fish keeping hobby, and why would you recommend others to enter the fish keeping hobby?
This is Mike from Mass. My channel is Mass Aquariums, and I really appreciate you having me on your channel for your Q&A. So let's get started here. I've been in the hobby on and off for about 20 years. Obviously, when I was a kid, well, not obviously, but when I was a kid, I had tanks like crazy, 10 gallons, 20 longs, 40s, 50 talls. You know, I'd throw a bunch of fish in. Little kid, you know, not realizing what I was throwing in. Whatever I liked at the fish store, I'd pick out, I want that one, that one, that one. You know, my dad would let me put them in the tank, and we'd see how it goes. And I'd buy some plants, throw them in. I was always planted tank going for me. And every time I'd come home from college, I'd check it out, and he really took care of it for me. But as of recently, the past year, I've got back into it. I've got the hobby, you know, back in my blood. Really excited about it. Been spending a lot of time, as you can see. And so really I've been in it for strong about the last 7-8 months, and I've grown to love it all over again. Now my question for you is, what do you love best about Oscars? Because I know you have a nice Oscar you just got back.
What I love best about Oscars is their personality. Oscars have amazing personalities. When I wake up in the morning and I walk down to my fish room, there's Gizmo greeting me. And Oscars are known for their wonderful personalities. Plus, Oscars grow very large, 12 to 16 inches. So I can have a monster that won't get about 2 or 3 feet. I have one that'll grow to a maximum size of a foot and a foot and a half, or maybe over a foot and a half. But Oscars are monsters that you can host in your home aquarium, provided you have a 55-gallon, 75-gallon, or 125-gallon. You can keep Oscars. I also like how Oscars eat a lot. Oscars will eat like piggies, like me. That's why I like Oscars too. They're not just one little fish that you'll feed maybe once or twice a day. You're gonna feed your Oscars a lot, once or twice a day. I do, and it does nothing to it doesn't affect the fish, as some experts might say. But Oscars love to eat, and that's why I really like them as well. Plus, they're very easy to keep. Now, I just did a top 10 series on the Oscars, so check that out for more information on Oscars as well. I really love my Oscars. Oscars are my favorite fish of all time, okay? Now, Mike, my second question for you. What is your favorite fish?
Right now, yeah, but the praycock is very underrated. It's very tough to find. They have beautiful blue shimmer, and their red tails really pop when they swim around. And yeah, those are my three. Really love those three. Bosemani, praycocks, and the most underrated rainbow is the Australian rainbow. Very, very beautiful fish. Now my question for you is, what is your favorite fish?
Good question, Mike. What is my favorite fish? Well, my answer to that question is a lot of fish, because I've been in this hobby for a long time, so I like multiple species of fish, but I'll give you my top 5 favorite fish. Number 1, Oscars. Number 2, Jack Dempsey's. Number 3, angelfish. Number 4, the discus. And number 5, any of the silver dollar species. I love the Mylosoma silver dollars. I love the Mylia strumbaki, the black bar silver dollar, and I love the Mylia silveripinus, the red oak silver dollar. So I have a lot of favorite fish, but I just gave you my top 5 favorite fish. Just to show you how long I've been in the hobby and how much fish I have kept in the hobby. So I love this fish keeping hobby. I love all my fish. So all my fish would be a favorite fish of mine as well. All right. So my next question for you, Mike. I know you're big into plants. I know you love raising aquatic plants or aquarium plants. So I want to know, and my listeners and my subscribers want to know, what plant is a good plant for the beginners? In other words, what plant is good for beginner fish keepers who want to enter into the world of aquatic plants?
Now, as you know, if you watch my channel, Mass Aquariums, you know I love the planted tank. I learned a lot of my stuff from ADU and Dustin's Fish Tanks and Cloud9 Aquariums. I right now run mostly beginner plants. I do run a few, I would say medium to high plants that need CO2 and high light. But for a beginner plant, for the aquarist about to get into planted tanks, I would say 3 plants that I think are going to be really good for the beginner: Anubias, Amazon Sword, and Jungle Bell. Now they all require very low maintenance, low nutrients, low light, and they will grow like crazy. Especially Jungle Bell. You can plant it, and that is the type of plant that will produce runners, and they will grow like crazy. Especially Jungle Bell. You can plant it, and that is the type of plant that will produce runners and just keep going on and on. You can replant it, you can cut them, you can move them around. Anubias, a very low light plant. You can tie it to pretty much anything, rocks, driftwood, and you don't need a lot of light, you don't need a lot of ferts, and you don't need a lot of CO2, and that plant will thrive big time. Amazon Sword is a staple in almost all planted aquariums. I have a couple pygmy swords here, and I have a red melon sword. Those plants will grow, same thing, low light, low ferts, and they will really, really make your tank beautiful and low maintenance. If you have low lights, low ferts, and you'll have a lot of luck with them, and they will make your tank very, very beautiful. My question for you is, would you ever think about starting a highly planted tank?
Yes, I would love to enter into the world of aquatic plant keeping. I would. Maybe in the future, because right now I have been given the permission to get a nano tank, and I'm deciding between a nano saltwater reef tank or a nano saltwater tank with clownfish, or maybe a freshwater nano tank with some plants in it. I will, and I repeat, I will have a freshwater planted tank in sometime in my fish keeping life, because I love the plants. I love looking at the beauty of these plants. Now, I want to do a planted tank with some rummy nose tetras, with some neon tetras, with some cardinal tetras, and maybe some discus. So maybe in the near future, this 75-gallon right behind me will become a 75-gallon planted tank with angelfish, discus, and rummy nose tetras. That'd be a beautiful tank, wouldn't it, Mike? I would love that tank. So yes, I will be having a planted tank in the future as well. Now, my next question for you, you're probably going to love, Mike, and that is, um, what do you enjoy the most about going to your local fish stores? So, if that question came in kind of confusing, what do you enjoy the most about going to the local fish store, Mike?
Local fish store. What isn't the most thing I like about my local fish store? I have 3 kids, and let me tell you, every time I go to the local fish store, I gotta bring at least 2 of them, my 2 boys, or I gotta bring my girl, or 1 and 1. And let me tell you, my local fish store probably doesn't like me all that much, because they wreak havoc. They run up and down the aisles. No matter how many times I tell them, don't tap on the tank, don't do this, don't do that, you can't control boys. I got a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, and they love fish too, but they love to look at them, and they love to wreak havoc. My favorite thing about going to the local fish store is when I get to go with nobody but myself. I'll go there. I don't even need to buy anything. I just want to look at what they have for stock. I like to talk to the owner. My local fish store is Oceans of Pets. It's right next to me, and they really take care of you. They have a reward system, unlike PetSmart and Petco, where, you know, at my local fish store, when you buy stuff, you actually get points, and you get a lot of store credit when you buy stuff. The best thing I love about my local fish store is they take care of you. They will let you know what is in their tank, where they bought it, was it quarantined, how long it's been in their tank, whether or not you should actually buy it, whether or not it's good for your tank. They don't just want to sell you the fish and they don't know anything about it. They love telling you about the fish and whether or not it should go in your tank. I absolutely love just going there, even if it's 20 minutes, a half hour, and just walking around, looking at the tanks. Just, what is your favorite seafood dish to cook? Mine is any type of scampi. Shrimp, haddock, squid, any type of scampi. Load it with wine, butter, garlic, and lemon, and I absolutely love it. Serve it over some pasta. Absolutely beautiful.
A great last question there, Chef Mike, Chef Boy. Great question. I'm a chef too, so I love that question. Now, before I answer that question, I want to get you on my cooking show, Chef Mike. So whenever you're free, hit me up so you can be a guest on my cooking show. I love interviewing other chefs on my cooking show. So check it out, Mike. blogtalkradio.com/Chef Alice Carnelli 2014. Now, I'm going to start off my answer for your question kind of sad. I'm allergic to shellfish. Yes, I can't eat shellfish because I have allergies, but I do love to eat fish. Not freshwater fish, but saltwater fish, of course. Now, I love the classic New England fish and chips. Man, I make the best fish and chips in town, I think. I love it. I make fish and chips with haddock, cod, and sometimes even flounder I can make fish and chips with. I love a good classic fish and chips. Now, I also love a haddock franchise, which is kind of similar to your scampi a little bit, but I don't use garlic. I use more wine, either sherry or white wine, a lot of lemon juice, some flour and roux, and that's my classic haddock franchise. Now, I also love scrod. I love sole Florentine. I love a lot of fish dishes. I'm a big fan of salmon as well. So a great last question there, Chef Mike.
So, thanks for having me on your Q&A. This is Mike from Mass. My channel's Mass Aquariums. And I hope this satisfies the needs of your YouTube Fish Keepers channel. And this is Mike from Mass. And I'm out.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for participating in this great Fish Keepers United question and answer here on the YouTube channel. I had fun doing it, Mike. Thank you so much. We'll love to have you on again in the future. Now, please subscribe to Mike's channel, Mass Aquariums, here on YouTube. YouTube.com/Mass Aquariums. I also want to give a shout out to Mr. William T. from Discus Euphoria for making this video possible. Thank you, William, for that as well. We hope you enjoyed our second Fish Keepers United Q&A. Now, if you want to be on a Q&A, please email me at aquaticwetline@outlook.com. Again, that's aquaticwetline@outlook.com. And I would love to do a Q&A with you. All right, and I'm looking for a fourth Q&A to do, because on the third Q&A I'm going to have William T. on again. So, with that being said, it's a wrap. Go Yankees! And thank you for watching this episode of Fish Keepers Q&A. Gizmo and I say goodbye.